Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be real breakup versus fake breakup. Well, I've got an email here from a guy who broke up with his girlfriend of about a year, and he admits that he made a bunch of mistakes that turned his girlfriend off. But he recently had a date with her, went to the movies after they had broken up. He goes to kiss her, she turns the head, gives him the cheek, says she's not interested in anything romantically, and then a few sentences later tells him that she wants him to prove that he's really serious about a relationship. So you can imagine he's obviously scratching his head going, what the fuck does that mean? So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email and then discuss what he should do going forward, because obviously he wants to get her back, but again he's going, what? So the quote says, women are naturally wired to be more emotionally intuitive and more connected to their feelings and emotions than men. This is essential to being a great mother and nurturer. Men are naturally wired to be more stoic and less connected to their emotions and feelings. This is essential to high achievement, taking risks, being in combat, and doing things that are dangerous. This doesn't mean that men and women can't do the same jobs or tasks. It simply means that men and women are naturally better at doing different things that are essential to the family, society, and procreation. The differences between men and women complement each other and make them stronger as a team than they are as individuals. A man who is too feminine and unsure of himself makes a woman feel unsafe and uncomfortable in her feminine essence, which forces her to be more in her masculine essence, while a man who is centered in his masculine essence makes a woman feel safe and comfortable, relaxing into her feminine essence. And you'll see here in his email, he's guilty of a little bit of that. But obviously, in order to turn things around and go forward and get his ex-girlfriend re-interested or re-attracted to him, and wanting him romantically instead of trying to put him in the friend zone, he's got to change his behavior and he's got to be consistent. And also it helps to understand what the fuck she's really trying to say when she says things that are confusing, because obviously if you're a guy watching this, you realize that women, they think different than us. They're different and they don't think the way that we do, and vice versa. Us guys are different than the way women would think that we would be, or maybe even want us to be. So he says, hey Corey, my name is Bob. I'm 30 years old, and I've been following your awesome work for some time now, and I've recently gone through a breakup with my girlfriend, who's 31, of 1 year together. I was initially the cause of the separation due to not reaching out enough, being too much of a cold fish, getting too complacent, and not being in my masculine alpha center. She decided to call things off after I returned home from a 2-week vacation in Canada. Well, that's always fun to come home after a vacation and then get dumped. She pled her case for why she wasn't feeling it anymore and stated that she had emotionally checked out. In other words, I'm just not attracted to you anymore. So if we look at the things that he was doing, obviously you can tell he got too complacent, obviously stopped dating and courting her properly, not being in his masculine, which forces her to be in her feminine energy, which that's not her natural essence. And if you're forcing a feminine woman to be more masculine because you're acting feminine, the sexual attraction and polarity just evaporates literally instantly. And so intellectually, she might think, hey, this is a great guy, but I'm not feeling it. Remember, like I said in the quote, women are much more connected and in tune with their emotions than us guys are. So in order to get her to feel reattracted, you've got to be in your masculine so she feels safe and comfortable being in her feminine. Because obviously this went on for an extended period of time to the point where she just lost all attraction. So here's what's interesting. She says, however, she doesn't want to lose me completely, and we can still be friends and hang out from time to time. Oh boy, that just sounds really exciting. That makes me feel so much better. So women typically do that to put the guy in friend zone and, in essence, a backup plan while she looks around for a guy that makes her feel something. Because obviously the way he was behaving, she was no longer feeling it because he wasn't exhibiting enough masculine alpha strength traits. But he did the right thing because he'd been following my work. He said, I gracefully declined her offer, stating that I wasn't interested in being friends, her male girlfriend, or emotional tampon. She respected my point of view. Well, that's the thing. You're assuming she respected it, but women are going to test your strength, especially if you've been displaying lots of weakness, obviously, which you admitted you have been. And if you say you're not interested in being friends, her male girlfriend, or emotional tampon, almost in a way, without realizing, it's like you're daring her to test you. It's like, oh, really? Oh, you don't want to be my male girlfriend? Oh, you don't want to be my emotional tampon? Or just my platonic friend? Well, we'll see about that. It's not that women think this way. Remember, it's all about how she feels. She still thinks you're a great guy, but sexually, she's not feeling attraction. But she made it clear that she wasn't invested in me or us rekindling anything anytime soon. So what you're getting, remember, like I talk about this in my book, How to Be a 3% Man, that applies in that moment. Just like when she said, I love you 6 months ago, it doesn't apply right now because that's what she was feeling 6 months ago. So we have to look at what she's feeling right now. And what she's saying right now is she ain't feeling it. And in her mind, she thinks it's not going to happen anytime soon because once the feelings are gone, they're gone. And then she says that if it's meant to be, we'll reconvene down the line. He says, I've since gone no contact and began dating other women after a movie outing. We went on a week after the breakup. So, as I teach in 7 Principles to Get an Expect, the video that I did a few years ago, she's the one that unilaterally ended your relationship. Therefore, she has to be the one to earn another chance with you. And therefore, you don't go to her, you don't go pick her up, you don't meet her out. She has to come to your place. And like I talk about in 7 Principles to Get an Expect, the only distance that you should be willing to travel to see her is the distance that it takes to go from wherever you are in your house to your front door to let her in. The idea is your job as a man, like I talk about in the book, is to create an opportunity for sex to happen, to hang out, to have fun, to hook up. So she basically tried to friend zone you and you said, oh, I'm not interested in that. And then what do? You turn her right around the next week and you go to a fucking movie. That's like why would you want to go out of your way? I mean, you gave this woman a year of your life, and for your troubles, now you're meeting her out and picking her up and taking her to a movie? Because you said, I'm not interested in hanging out with you as friends, but yet a week later, you're hanging out with her hoping that things are going to change. It's a complete mindset that you have to change. In other words, you're the prize, you're the gift. She's the one who foolishly dumped you, and therefore she needs time and space away from you to wonder about you, to think about you. And by having her come to your place and making dinner together, women know that if they're coming over to your house on the week at night, anytime during the week or the weekend, that you're going to make dinner together, you're going to have some wine or some drinks or tea or whatever if you're not a drinker. And typically, women know that that's usually going to lead to a romantic evening. That's why women, when they're trying to stick you in friend zone and see if you have the balls to stand up to them and walk away, because remember, the only way you're going to really own a woman's heart is that she's got to know that if she pushes you too far, you're going to walk and never look back. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. Therefore, she changed the terms of your relationship. In other words, you're a nice guy by giving her a chance to redeem herself, giving her a chance to prove to you that she deserves another chance by coming over to your house. So in other words, you're the guy setting the tone for what the evening or the way your time is going to be. If you're agreeing to meet her out in public and go to a movie together, and now you're sitting in a movie theater the whole time. You're like going as her buddy and her pal. It's just like a first date, which I would, unless you're serious with somebody or you're in a committed relationship, you don't want to be going to movies. You can't create rapport. You can't get to know her. She can't get to know you. So you definitely need to review the video and article I did, 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back, because you are doing the opposite of what it teaches. And that's why you're not getting the results that you're hoping for. He says, I've since gone no contact and been dating other women. So again, he goes on the date. And so listen to what he says about it. He says, the date itself served neither of us any justice. I was there to make things right. Really? Remember, she stuck you in friend zone. You say you're not interested. And so you're going there with the mindset of, I've got to make things right. I've got to fix this. Well, you told her you're basically only interested in something romantic. So in a way, your mind says, let me go grovel and beg and plead my case, and hopefully she'll give me another chance. It's a complete different mindset. Remember, this girl's trying to stick you in friend zone and see if you'll agree to hang out with her in a non-sexual way. And so you say you're not interested in friendship, and then you basically go out and do something that a friend would agree to do. If you're the prize, if you're the gift, she's got to come to you and prove that she's worth another chance, because it was her unilateral decision to say, I'm out of here. But when you go to her, that's a weak position negotiation-wise. It prevents you from setting the tone. In other words, you'll get together with her, but it's going to be on your terms. And if she doesn't want to get together or come over for dinner, because especially a woman like this, you try to get her to come to your house or you invite her to your house, more than likely she's going to try to turn you down. Oh, let's just meet out. Oh, I'm just in the mood for a movie. Just say, that's where you got to say, hey, I told you, I'm not interested in just being friends. I love you. I want you. Doesn't mean we have to get back together, but I'm not interested in hanging out with you in a non-sexual platonic way. That just doesn't work for me. I'd love to see you, but I'll understand. So you want to come over? You want to make plans? You either get a definite date or you withdraw the offer and you walk away. Because that's where you're standing up to her. You want sex and romance. She says, how about friendship? You're like, no, you walk away from friendship. But going to her and going to a movie is basically you acquiescing to her demands. And so look what happens next. So he says, we got into a discussion about where do we go from here after she declined my kiss. So he goes to kiss her. She turns the cheek. And then he's basically, what do I do, Your Majesty? Instead of being the leader, you're being a follower. And that's the problem. She wants to follow you, whether she realizes it or not. She doesn't want control. She doesn't want to be the leader. She wants you to be the man. So you basically said, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do, Mommy. It's weak. She once again stated what she made clear the week before, vice versa. In other words, I'm just interested in friends. This is just a friendship thing. Maybe someday in the future, we'll get back together. Fuck that noise. Interesting enough, this is the confusing parties. Interesting enough, she wants me to show her that I'm serious about being in a relationship with her. Well, you're never going to get to a relationship if she's giving you the cheek, because every bit of her interaction with you is communicating friendship. And you're sitting there hoping to change her mind because you met her on her terms instead of her coming to you on your terms. And negotiations will be called setting the table for the deal, if you will. I highly recommend, whether you like Trump or not, that you read his book, The Art of the Deal, because he is a master at negotiation. And you can learn a lot from it. I don't care whether you like him or fucking not. I'm serious. She wants me to show her that I'm serious about being in a relationship with her, but declines any action that could be taken to rekindle things. Again, that's why she has to come to you. And like I talk about 7 Principles Get an Ex Back, if she comes over 3 dates in a row to your place and you hang out, you have fun, you hook up all 3 times, then you can start picking her up and taking her out. But again, she's got to do 100% of the calling, texting, and pursuing from that point forward. Because what you're communicating by these actions is you'd love to see her, you'd love to hang out with her, but you're not interested in friendship. And if she's not interested in hanging out romantically, you're just not interested. And you basically caved. You were weak. In other words, she sold you why you should stay in the friend zone instead of you selling her why she should be coming back over and convincing you why you should give her another chance. Now, you're going to say that to her, but your actions will communicate that. And all your actions have done is continue to communicate weakness. In other words, she doesn't really believe that you mean the things that you say. And when she gets you to go along with just being friends, and then you're like, well, what do we do from here? In other words, you're asking her to be the leader. A man knows what to do. He knows what he wants, and he's going after it. He extends an invitation, and she can accept it or decline it. In this case, she's declined it, and therefore he should have declined her counteroffer. At this point, should I continue no contact or break the ice and take the risk of not getting her back at all? Well, here's where you are negotiation-wise. She's saying, how about friendship? You're saying sex and romance. How about friendship? How about sex and romance? So if you've already said friendship's off the table, so it's sex and romance, or it's been great. We had a great year together. It was a great run. I wish you all the best. Maybe you'll find somebody that's better suited for you. I'm dating. I'm moving on. I'd love to get back together or at least date and see where things go, but I'm not interested in being your friend. I was very clear about that. She either goes along with what you want, or that's the rub. You're risking losing her forever. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. You can beg, you can chase, you can continue to grovel. All it's going to do is frustrate the fuck out of you, and your actions would continue to communicate to her that you're okay with just friendship. So that's what I would do if I were you. I'd have her come to you. Remember, you're the prize, you're the gift. She's got to earn another chance with you. And in the meantime, you're taking any and all offers with other women because you want somebody to have a great relationship with. She's basically pulled the plug on what you had and saying, I'm going to just stick you in friend zone. And you're saying, nope, sex and romance, or it's been great. Nice knowing you. That's what I would do if I were you, dude, because you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, you've already tried groveling, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of videos over the years where guys have continued on with going to the movies and other things and fixing her toilet and replacing the battery in her car and putting new tires on it and everything else. And then they find out she's got a new boyfriend and fucking some other guy. And, oh, well, I'm sorry, but my new boyfriend, he's, it kind of bothers him. I still hang out with you and you're my ex. And so we really can't spend much time together. And, I'm really sorry. Sorry. She didn't give a fuck. That's what happens eventually, because you have to be strong enough to get what you want. And she's testing you, whether she realizes it or not. She wants to see if you're man enough to stand up for yourself and walk away forever when she's trying to offer you friendship. So if you'd like to get my help personally, maybe you have a professional challenge or a personal challenge, maybe something similar to this, and you're not really sure what to do, or maybe you just want to tell me your story of what's going on just to get my opinion to reconfirm what you already believe to be true. And if so, you can go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And I will talk to you soon.